This portion of the CU podcast is brought to you by Tushy. 'Tis the season for uncomfortable family dinners. Now is the time to upgrade your only escape hatch from the table by installing a soothing, refreshing bidet in your bathroom. Let me tell you about the bidet, Ian. It changes your entire ecosystem of your life. You go in there, you turn the little knob, you get that shot of water there to clean you out nice.
Rejuvenating.
You use a lot less toilet paper, you feel cleaner, it gives you a pep in your step.
Right now, Tushy Bidet is dropping deep discounts on bidet life essentials that'll transform your bathroom habits and your butt for life. Now's the time to back away from boring gifts and dirty habits to save on a luxury lifestyle upgrade you'll use every day. Washing with a precise stream of fresh water removes 99% of bacteria compared to wiping with toilet paper. And it's easy to use. Sit, do your business, and then turn the knob for a refreshing stream of clean water. Once you're done, simply pat dry with toilet paper and get on with your life. People who have made the switch to Tushy use up to 80% less TP. No more clogged toilets. Save your money and your ass at the same time. And every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty.
Give the gift of practical luxury that benefits everyone in your household. Go to hellotushy.com/CU podcast now to grab your deal before it's gone. And don't forget to give us a shout out while you're there and let them know we sent you. Go to hellotushy.com/CU podcast for the best gift this holiday season. Ian, God, the Supersega. You know, after we covered the Supersega, I thought it would be one of those things where, you know, this would be a slow death that Alejandro Martin, the person running this supposed FPGA Sega console that runs everything from the SG-1000 to Dreamcast, it would just like all these red flags, it would just disappear. They would just, the snakes would just go back into their hiding spots.
Nope.
No, there's been almost too many videos to cover that have been released for this.
Yeah, they had one less than interesting where it shows the CD tray. It didn't. I don't necessarily believe it's actually hooked up or part of the console.
No.
You said it showing the CD tray powering on.
Yes.
I feel like powering on should have been in quotes there.
Well, I mean,
yeah, okay.
It has a power to it, Ian.
Because I'm looking at it and I was just like,
it's not connected to the console.
Yeah.
Now there's a ridiculous like the original mock-up rectangular shell.
Yep.
But the CD tray is on the far left underneath it, but it's not attached to it.
No. Not
but
at all.
It is getting power somehow, right? We can agree that it's getting some.
Oh, I thought it was just like it looks like it just popped open, like my CD.
He pressed the button and the light comes on.
Oh, okay.
Let's give Alejandro some credit. The light comes on.
I thought it was a CD drive like the ones on our computers where they don't need to be turned on to pop open.
Oh yeah, but there's a light on in the video. You can see it. You can see it at like gotta be fair to Alejandro. About a minute in, he pops in. He puts in a disc. And then you don't see the screen, and that's it. So that's the first video where it's like, okay.
Literally, we can open this CD drive and put a disc in.
It's getting power somehow. We don't know how it's getting power, but it's getting power. So that's the first video.
We also saw what is a classic key example of jumping the fucking gun, where we get to see a Supersega box.
Did you see the start of the video? There's a motorcycle.
Yeah. Yes.
By the way, I didn't realize for the first round of videos, you can get translations. They're not the best translations, but if you go on closed captions, you can, or excuse me, yeah, and you select the subtitles, Spanish auto-generated. You can auto-translate it. You can click one of 100 different languages. That's machine learning. That's not AI, but at least it's something that's useful. So if you click on English, Ian, after that, you could see them being auto-generated, on the captions.
Yes. So they're showing you a Supersega box, and that just reminds me of, all the other meme consoles we've covered in the past. The Amico had a box that was too early. The other thing that all of these consoles do that's jumping the gun, but it makes them look more professional, is the casing, the shells.
Sure.
So you get a shell, you get a box. I feel like they're trying to say they're almost there.
The box looks like trash, by the way.
It does.
The box is like the original render, and it just has the Super Sega on the font and the classic blue and white.
It looks
letter.
like a bootleg console.
It looks like what you find in the mall.
Yes.
In the middle of the mall on the little carts when they were selling the Famicom Nintendo clones back in the early 2000s. I kind of miss those days.
Yep.
You got a little silver pistol zapper and 160 games in one. So it lists the consoles on the front. in like the in the plainest font possible. The SG-1000 Mark 1 and 3, Master System, Mega Drive, Mega CD, Saturn, and Dreamcast, 32X. I'm sorry. Then there's a manual. There's a manual that I wish I could stop and read this all, like where they got this manual from. Did they hire someone to actually make a fucking manual on a console that'll never come out?
I'm going to guess. Yeah, maybe they did. Yep. I was looking at it, I thought maybe it would just be like a different manual with a wrapper on it, but no, yeah, that is the actual.
I mean, they don't flip through every single page. They put like 2 or 3, so I don't know if it's a trick where, hey, we have nothing in the middle, but we have the first 4 and last couple of pages.
It might not be. I mean, it could be one of those. It would not surprise me if they put the cart before the horse and made a manual for something that is not working.
Sure.
These are all the things that give the illusion of a company that's ready to go with something.
Next video. The new demo came out, and this is the one I'm going to talk the most about because there's a lot of things in here that are unfortunate and things that upset me. So, what does this translate to? Ultima's reviews and production. That's before. Ultima or final review. Ultimas mean final. Final reviews before production. Ide una and a small bad notice pendiente de confirmation. Confirmation pendiente. God, my Duolingo. I don't know what that means. But okay. So this video has a lot of weird things happening. We can run through. I have a bunch of bullet points.
Oh yeah, no,
I did the homework. Aaron. Did you look at the video?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
You make sure I wasn't crazy. Mm-hmm. The wires are exposed on the controller that the bald gentleman's using with the shaved head. That to me is just hysterical.
Yeah,
they have a crappy controller they're using.
Yeah, it's where the cord meets the controller, the plastic cracked, and yeah, you can see the cords.
CD drive hanging off the edge of the table since it's not actually part of the console. It's not really attached to it.
No,
I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. At 8:30, it didn't make the beep when he used the Allen wrench. By the way, to reset this console, you have to like hit an Allen wrench. And my FPGA expert said that, well, what they're trying to make you think is that there is a power button on the board
but
that they're trying to hit.
Right, yeah.
They just haven't attached the actual plastic button, which is probably bullshit. There is no power button on the board, probably. So they're trying to trick you into thinking, hey, we're hitting where the button will be.
Right.
That's what they think is what's happening there. So that's at what's the time code I have on that one? That's
8:30. You jumped ahead there and then you go backwards.
Okay.
I don't know what you mean by 4:39. It has sound.
Oh, when they hit the button at 4:39, it has sound.
Oh, okay.
With the Allen wrench.
Yeah.
At 4:39, it does actually have sound. That's just an inconsistency.
I think more damning than any of that is you have it listed here at 4:58, but you can see it other places as well. There's a keyboard wire running under the table to a keyboard that's on a desk. And whatever the Allen wrench is or isn't doing, the main thing here is it very much looks like there is a keyboard controlling a computer that is likely hooked up to a TV.
Yeah. So the cord is being pulled down. And, oh my God, I think I have that similar elf with the hat on, by the way, in the picture. I'm not even kidding. I'll show you later. The keyboard cable is down and not going to the back where the monitor is able. It's going towards the coffee table where the Super Sega is, which there could be a PC under there. There could be a Raspberry Pi. We don't know, but it's obvious. And it changes positions between shots.
Yes.
The keyboard. Did you see that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Why would that keyboard change position between shots? We're analyzing this like
if you're going to move it, you're going to move it completely. You're not going to just like shift it around a little bit because you're using it. That's why.
We're analyzing this like the fucking Zapruder film now, but we have to because we don't trust this. 602. You can hear the Allen wrench hitting the board, but then the sound comes out like a half second after. So you can hear it like hit the board, not a button. You can actually hear it like hit a clef.
Right.
That's a small thing, but you know, 14 minutes. I'll make sure I remember exactly what's happening here because I wrote this like 2 weeks ago.
Again, I remember
this is someone else.
So this is again.
Is this the same guy just with a hat on? No, it's a different guy.
This is a more damning thing to me than some of the other stuff. Again, it's always the hardest thing for them to show, and it should be the easiest. Anytime they show themselves putting something into the machine, the system, and then showing it on the TV screen, it's a cut.
Yes.
There's either a cut live, which they got called out on that one video from the last time we talked about it, or there's a distinct difference between they're looking and then they're looking. So whatever's going on in the background, whatever button is being pressed to bring something up, we don't know.
Sure. And then obviously in the second part, you can see the guy precariously hold the board in the shell.
It's not put together at all.
All right. So before we go to the next video, this is what annoys me about this video, where you can see a Christmas tree in the background. You see this guy. There's someone named Spinecart TV who's a, I don't know if they're based in Spain, but they are a fairly prominent YouTuber. And this was reporting they were covering this, and they've been critical of this project and doing their own videos covering this. And supposedly they know the identity of some of the people in here. I put a link there at 42 minutes in. So this has been told to me that either this person stated it, and so I'm not saying it myself to be fact, but it was told to me that the man in this video is Alejandro Martin's brother-in-law, and that the blonde woman that did the weird promos was his sister. That's what was told to me via that Spinecart TV or another source had that. All I know is this. Besides these individuals, there's a young girl running around in this video in the background. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to get on my high horse too much when it comes to these things, but I don't know how much. Obviously, the little girl does not know what's going on. She just wants to Merry Christmas. Mm-hmm. But this man and the blonde woman, I do not know if they know that this is likely a scam. I do not know if they know how bad this appears to the internet and people like us. And to put them in your video and to tell them to try your little hobby project, and they don't necessarily know how that video is going to be used, that's disgusting. To make them basically accessories to a fucking scam.
Well, I feel like, I'm not going to give them an entire pass. I feel like to sit there and do that video where you're playing the games on it and dropping the Allen wrench is going to require a deep understanding of how much this doesn't fucking work.
Okay, I'm trying to give them a benefit of the doubt. Maybe
I wouldn't.
Family members that were roped into this, but then having if this is your niece show up in the video and having them being in a video that's going to be rightly criticized by the internet, I don't know. It's hard to think of people being slimer than what they are already. But it's fucking slimy, Ian.
It's slimy. I'm just saying, I don't think that, especially the brother-in-law, I don't think he's innocent at all.
Oh, sure, but then leave your leave
the kid out of it, sure.
Leave your kid out of it. There's a poor dog on the outside of the porch looking in. Poor doggo out there. All right, so that video is really bad. Then there's another one. Another video with, they say there's no cuts on here. I swear to God, there's only one or two more fucking videos. Starts with super shaky cam. There's another Allen wrench thing going on. I don't know. Now the Allen wrench is going to the back of the TV. Oh, look. We start the video not seeing anything really on. We come up, everything's on. I just think it's funny that these same 3 fucking cartridges are always inserted into this console at the start of these videos. How difficult, Alejandro, would it be? One shot, console. Here's the SG-1000 cart going in, and you see what happens. Here's the Master System going in, and you see what happens. And here's the Genesis one.
Yeah.
That would be simple if it actually worked like that. So I have a question mark. Powered by USB from TV? It's the wires going back there, I think?
Yeah, you can power the Nintendo stuff from the USB on your TV. That's not that weird.
Okay, that's not that weird.
No.
No PC is visible. This was a suggestion made to me, and perhaps a Raspberry Pi is now inside the case. We don't know. We can't trust them as far as we can throw them. Same cards. Crazy Taxi is being played off the compact flash card. I think it's obvious. Mm-hmm. I just think it's funny. The back of the TV has paint all over it. They painted the wall. It didn't cover it, so the back of the TV is white. I saw that, yeah. And still no shots of games being inserted to play on a steady shot of like, hey, this is functioning. It's loading up the carts and ROMs. So, all right. Finally, a time extension article. We come back to this shit. And I wonder at this point if these people like being interviewed on time extension by Dave McFerrin because they know they're going to get the smallest of pushbacks on these things. I just wonder if that's part of the logic here. So it's reported that Sega is trying to shut down the Super FPGA. Super Sega FPGA, probably trying to shut it down, Sega. So there's a little letter that was noted on here. The team behind the FPGA-based system previously said it was concerned that Sega might step in over the name. It already opened a dialogue with a Japanese giant on the topic. Martin has told Time Extension that the name change will be considered, but production will not be stopped unless Sega is prepared to cover costs, expenses, and what consumers paid. What do you mean? No, consumers didn't pay for anything. You took pre-order money. Consumers didn't get a product.
Right.
This is funny because Sega is in their rights when it comes to things like, okay, if you're going to trademark a video game console, you cannot call it a Sega console.
Right.
You can't do that.
No.
You can put out, like, if I was a hobbyist and actually made an FPGA, like Analog, who Alejandro was afraid was going to steal it. Analog put out a Mega SG. And it is a Sega Genesis console. It's just not named Sega Genesis.
Yes. You can say that something is going to play Sega games.
Yes. You can put that on the box. Compatible with Sega Genesis games. You can do all that. So they're in the right. They can't demand for it to be shut down as a hobbyist project. They can't demand, this is where Alejandro's in the right, but I mean barely. They can't demand he destroy anything.
Right.
Because right now it's still a hobbyist project. It's not a consumer project out in the public yet. He has taken money for it.
Well, I was going to say,
I
was going to say he took money for it. So
okay, maybe on Sega side.
Maybe that's when they step in.
Okay, maybe I'm right. Okay, they took the money for it. You're right. So maybe it's now a consumer product, technically. It's no longer hobbyist.
Once money gets taken for something with a Sega name on it, Sega's going to jump in.
I'm Team Sega. I'm Team Sega. Fucking knock it off. Take the name off it. They can't tell them to destroy it, though. They can't do anything like that. But no, they can tell them to change the name. Absolutely, they could. They can absolutely do that. Martin says he intends to proceed with the project via Kickstarter campaign. Oh my God.
That should, I mean, it'll be interesting because you got to have a valid working prototype, right? So we'll see what hoops you got to.
I mean, like, is it going to pass for a prototype with a shaky cam?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the actual, requirements are.
I mean, Indiegogo, they don't care for the most part.
Right.
All right, so we're going to be covering this for another couple months, I think, at least. This is going to be, I don't know, nothing's a new Amico, because that was an unmitigated.
Yeah, nothing will ever be the new Amico.
Unless Alejandro Martin does a 50-minute video about us that we comment on 3 years after it comes out. Unless that happens, I think we're good for now on that. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm still shocked that someone would go through with this, if they're still trolling, or if he's just getting enough dumb people to give him money, and that's it.
I don't think.
How far can you take this? A Kickstarter?
I don't think he is a troll, but if it was, this would be masterful.
Yes,
I would have to give it. That's the only saving grace Mr. Martin has is if this is a troll, if this turns out to all be a joke, I'll be like, all right, well, bravo, sir, you fucking nailed what you were mocking, but I do not think that's the case.
If it wasn't for the past history with the 4K camera, running the same playbook, I would say this was a masterful troll.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not, because reality is oftentimes stranger than fiction.
I don't know if it's stranger. It's less interesting. It's more disappointing sometimes. Truth versus fiction.